Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the personal story segment tonight. Coming out of the closet in the classroom, Alta Kavanaugh is an 18-year veteran of the Hemet, California School District in California. When she told her students she was a lesbian, some of the students and parents objected. William LaJeunesse brings us up to date.
Showdown at school. A gay teacher's rights versus parents' rights.
We knew that Alta Kavanaugh was involved in gay political rights. We didn't want our daughter exposed to that.
But the parents lost as California sides with gay teachers.
The teacher made reference to the fact that the most significant person in her life happened to be her domestic partner.
Janice and Jim Bertrand's daughter Amber was just 14 when Alta Kavanaugh held up her gay partner as a role model in English literature class.
Amber's parents quietly requested a transfer, and it would have ended there. But Kavanaugh chose to go public, filing a complaint with the state saying that she was punished for being gay.
In California, students can transfer for a variety of reasons, but not solely because a teacher is gay, even if the student is uncomfortable. Locals say the state is rubbing it in, requiring posters throughout the school proclaiming Hemet discriminated against a gay teacher. In Los Angeles, William LaJeunesse, Fox News.
And joining us now from Los Angeles is Myron Quon of the Lambda Legal Defense Fund, who is supporting Ms. Kavanaugh. I don't understand why she feels she's being discriminated against here, Counselor.
It's a really simple issue. She's an English teacher. She was explaining a classroom assignment, who's the most important person in my life. And as an example, she talked about her significant other. It's a real simple classroom assignment, and unfortunately, some parents objected to her being openly
we got all that,
lesbian.
but if the kid wanted just to be transferred out of the class, so why is she being discriminated against, the teacher?
It's a simple case of discrimination.
How?
Just as we now know that removing, discriminating against a teacher based on her gender, her religion, or her race is wrong, I hope that in the year 2000 that more and more of us can come to understand that a teacher's sexual orientation is totally irrelevant.
But how is she being hurt if the kid just wants to transfer out of the class, feels uncomfortable with that kind of a role model? That doesn't hurt the teacher.
It definitely does.
How?
There's a stigmatic harm. There's also the adverse treatment by having the child removed. It's telling everyone at Hemet Unified School District that it's not all right for her to be a lesbian. It's saying, I mean, how would a black teacher feel if they had like 2, 3, 4 kids removed from his classroom?
All right, now let me stop you there. If the kids' parents object to homosexuality on religious grounds, you would say they have a perfect right to do that under the Constitution of the United States, correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
If the parents of the child object to homosexuality on religious grounds, you would say they had a perfect right to do that under our Constitution, correct?
If the parents are uncomfortable with Alta Kavanaugh's sexual orientation or the sexual orientation of any child, they certainly do have the right to remove their child from the classroom.
All right. So why the brouhaha about removing the kid?
They can remove her from the school period.
No.
What they can do.
Why can't they just remove her from the classroom and give another English teacher?
When a parent chooses to send their child to public schools, they have to accept the public school as it is, and public schools are guided by the Constitution. It's a civil rights issue.
All right. Now, you just made a very interesting point. When you send your child to public school, you have to do what the public school says. So if the public school has a cross-dresser in there, right? Somebody who's dressed, a man dressed up like a woman. No, wait, this is hypothetical. You can do anything about it under the law. Is that correct?
The laws, in terms of when a parent chooses to send their
That is correct, Counselor. If you had a cross-dresser in there, and the principal said, you know, I don't object to that. I mean, he's got his own, doing his own thing. He's a good teacher. Under the public school law in California, you don't have any rights. Does that seem right to you, Counselor?
That hasn't been established yet. What has been established is that if you're an award-winning teacher and if your students are being removed based on your sexual orientation, that's against the law. That's where we're at today.
It is, and you're right, and she won. This teacher won. But I'm saying to you, it's crazy. If all these parents wanted to do was move their kid out of the class because they objected to having this teacher as a role model for their young daughter, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. And I'm not getting why this teacher's rights are being violated. There are other kids who are going to be in her class. There's not a persecution of the teacher. She's making the same amount of money. She's teaching the class. What's the deal?
You actually talk to teachers about this particular case and the issue of student removal. It can signify a lot of things. It signifies disrespect. It signifies lack of confidence in her abilities. It signifies
well, you can make the other argument.
Pulling out all the underpinnings of her authority.
I got it. But you could also make the argument that the teacher's being disrespectful to the religious students in her class by parading around her lifestyle, which is offensive to them and their religious beliefs. We'll let the audience decide on this, Mr. Quon. You guys won. I kind of think it's nuts, but that's the way it is. I appreciate you coming on. Still to come, if true.